Hi, guys. Today I'm going to talk about anxiety. Again, I know, but reveal it for what it is. Now, our life, it's an emotional experience. The essence of our life is emotional. And your body is a vehicle in which you experience that emotion through. But choices are the most what we do and we fear the most. So, what do we make? The right choice, the wrong choice? Emotional intelligence, when you build that, it is the bricks we use to build our self-esteem, our purpose, our worth, our creativity, and our personal power. Now, I'm going to talk about your feelings. So, when feelings arise within you, it's simply, if it's not acknowledged, it simply doesn't go away. So it manifests into this directionalist anxiety. It's not viable function because we feel that compulsory need to eliminate that anxiety. So what do? We go to the GP and we are not getting the root cause of it, then there is we it develops into obsessive compulsive disorders, addiction, worry without valid reasons, self-righteous anger. We often we assume that if we do not feel the pain or the loss through rejection, betrayal, then we'll be okay. But actually, it's not. If we avoid those feelings, we feel vulnerable. We have nothing to protect ourselves from. So the hurt is still in the body, and the price for not feeling and acknowledging our emotions is really high because those are difficult feelings. And if you don't get to the root cause of it, then you realize that nothing changes and you pop those pills and it's fine for a while, but then it comes back again. So, healing is the most important thing here, which is what I'm trying to explain. Now, I go back to my thesis and my model. My model is awareness, connection, and engagement because when we feel overwhelmed, we ask ourselves, what do I feel? When we feel fear, what should I do? Or when we feel anxious, what does it mean? So, locate what you feel is the concept that I'm always banging on about and respond appropriately. Now, the difference between treating and managing and healing anxiety is with treating anxiety, the solution is based on the symptoms, whereas healing is a permanent freedom from that fear. It's not about absolute removal of the cause or condition, merely recovering from those symptoms. Now, doctors, medical models, I call them, focus on alleviating the symptoms because they're just going, let's just put a band aid over it. It's holistic understanding. So you move away from that fixation of the symptoms. The one thing is they do is they prescribe anti-anxiety medication, as you know, for panic attacks. But what if you explain to them why they feel the fear? And it becomes a source of inspiration not to let it control your life. But as you know, modern medicine doesn't believe in that. So I believe in expanding your emotion is necessary to heal your anxiety, understanding what that means. So when you experience that feeling, that essence, where that healing is, right? So the basic meeting is, you know, if somebody has anxiety and they are not understanding where that anxiety is originating from, it goes nowhere. But if they go to the GP, they'll pop these pills or that pills, and they're still afraid, they're still exhausted, they still have low self-esteem. And then these symptoms can develop into perfection, paranoia, rigidity, intolerance, addiction. So, anxiety results in vulnerability to difficult emotions by overproducing, often producing self-righteousness, anger, guilt. If you cannot heal anxiety from medication, you can only treat it and manage it, and that's my whole concept here. Now, emotions arise based on their intelligence. You cannot choose what you feel, but the choice of language will determine your experience of that feeling. The most powerful tool in dealing with your feeling is words. With words, you can frame everything you experience. So the word describes what you feel, and therefore what you can do. I always talk about the power of the word because if I hypnotized you and took the word blue out of your vocabulary and then asked you to describe the ocean, what are you going to call it? Or I say, I took the word love out as well. You cannot say, I love the ocean that's blue, because you don't have that in your concept. You don't have that word blue or love. So every line, everything is to describe what you feel is the word. So it becomes your truth. And then the truth becomes your landscape, ultimately your reality. So if you use the wrong word, if you say, oh, my son, if I say, oh, he procrastinates, then you'll say he's lazy. But actually, it's not true. With discipline, he can stop procrastinating. So it's that misuse of that word. So he's procrastinating because of something, he's fearing something. So knowing what that fear is when you get that information, you can inquire, what are you afraid of that behavior of procrastination? So take the word resentment. What are you resenting? What is the root cause of your resenting? So bitterness means you're stuck in that place. So the primary emotion is, what are you angry? Something needs to change. So I'm going to show you my wonderful diagram again. This is because happiness, then you need to do more of. Sadness, you need to acknowledge you're sad. Fear is get more information, and anger is acknowledge what needs to change. So when I say fear needs more information, means you recognize what you're scared of. You then take that information and you deal with that information. You know, you sometimes we don't think about this, but you have enough food, you have enough shelter, you have enough protection. But when you understand that if you're afraid of money, what does that mean? So it's that you cannot fear nothing. You're fearing something, either no money, or you're fearing you might have a panic attack because your memories, it's located that you had a panic attack before. So it's always, remember that the internet has alienated us from each other, and we're losing our physical, literally our communities, to social networking spaces. Like, we're always on the internet. So if you don't have no idea your feelings are, then you'll be permanent state of anxiety. So what do I feel? Consider there's two sorts of anxiety feeling. Clean feeling means you may be hurt, you need to clean up that pain. So I've been betrayed, or I feel devastated, or I might have lost my senses or trust in other people. So clean up that feeling in that body and bring it back. Bring yourself back to your body. Dirty feelings is, it makes you feel bad over and over again, that pain of that situation. So dirty feelings are in your mind. You take it out of your body and give you short-term relief. So you need to check where that dirty feeling is coming from. So use flips. Think differently about that dirty feeling and demonstrate you can move away from that dirty feeling to a clean emotion. And if you do it often enough, then you're more in that clean feeling than the dirty feeling. So I believe that the fundamental cause of our emotional disease is losing in touch with your body's innate intelligence. So, feelings are messages, warning signs. They bring our body's awareness. The body can't lie, it's a truth telling machine. You want peace and balance, but you're often in that worrying state and you're denying that you're angry or sad. So, you're assuming anxiety is fear. It is one of our primary emotions. But anxiety is a symptom of that primary emotion. Something's happened within you that's causing you fear and then causing you to get anxious. So you sometimes don't let yourself feel that appropriate emotion. So you're afraid, you're angry, you're sad, you're happy, you, instead of doing that, you're anxious instead. So remember, anxiety is that undefined feeling that you cannot localize. Lots of assumptions about anxiety. The word anxiety has meaning. Does it really? It's just a word. Anxiety is a feeling of fear. Not sure about that. So anxiety is a feeling. So I'd like you today to try and do a word lobotomy. Never use the word anxiety or depression, obsessive compulsive attention defects, or eating disorder. When you experience that physical sensation of anxiety, Localize it, find out where that primary feeling is, clean up, or you'll be anxious all the time. So, my learning alerts are, you try and take that word anxiety out. It's a revolutionary act that nobody's telling you to do. And locate where you feel, place yourself in that position, and appropriately respond. So it frees you from that constant friction, turmoil, dislocation we call anxiety. So thank you for watching, and please go on to the next video, and I look forward to seeing you then. Bye for now.